You fight like a girl. It's a statement which often has a negative connotation, but why? Up until a century ago, women in the military were often a very rare case, and their heroic acts weren't brought to anyone's attention. All that is slowly changing though. Combat, heroism, and fighting to save lives isn't only reserved for military men. The truth is, there are many badass females out there, and they've changed the way that people think about fighting like a girl. Join us as we explore some of the most badass female soldiers on the planet. Meet Lance Corporal Kylie Watson. Watson is well known for her heroism and efforts to make sure that her fellow colleagues are safe at all times. We know being in combat is hard, but it takes an extraordinary person to put your life before others at every given moment. Here are a few quick facts about Watson. She was only 23 years old and 5 feet tall when she joined the Army in 2006. After studying battlefield medicine, she joined the Royal Army Medical Corps in 2007. While on her first tour in Afghanistan, Watson would save the lives of 2 of her fellow colleagues. Her team came under fire while they were patrolling on foot, and one of her colleagues got injured. Watson didn't run for cover, however. She knew that she had to help everyone who was hurt. So she ran across 70 meters of open ground to get to her fellow soldiers. Because of her medical expertise and incredible courage, she managed to stop the bleeding, splintered his broken pelvis, and waited beside him until a helicopter came to medevac him out. And this happened all while they were on completely open ground and an easy target. But get this, Watson didn't just do this one time, she did it twice. About 6 months after the first incident, the story would repeat itself. Watson gave medical care for 20 minutes to one of her injured fellow soldiers, instead of taking cover and saving herself from open fire. Her bravery and passion for helping others would earn her the Military Cross Award in 2011 and the World 5 List Award for being the most badass female soldier. When she was awarded the Military Cross, Watson asked her supervisor if she was in trouble and if they're sure they have the right soldier, showing her humble and down-to-earth character. She's the 4th woman that has ever earned the Military Cross Award, but we've decided she deserves to be the first on our list. Major props to you, Lance Corporal Watson. Next on our list is Major Mary Jennings Heger. Ever since she was a little girl, Mary knew that she wanted to be an Air Force pilot. Her life story is quite a special one, and most definitely badass. Influenced by her favorite character, Han Solo, Heger is one of the most well-known soldiers, and rumor has it that Angelina Jolie herself wants to portray the story of Heger's heroism. Now here's what you need to know about Heger and her time in the Air Force. In 2009, one of her fellow Air Force pilots would be shot during a mission, and Heger was only on her 3rd tour in Afghanistan. She was wounded, but that didn't stop her to help her fellow crew member. She took over the plane and moved it to the next pickup point. While waiting 20 minutes for their rescue, they were attacked again, and as they were being lifted off, Heger would use helicopter weaponry to defend her crew and clear off the path for a safe takeoff, and is only the 6th woman in history to receive the Distinguished Flying Cross. But that's not the end of it. In 2012, she filed a suit against the Secretary of Defense for keeping women excluded from the Combat Exclusion Policy, and she won, allowing other women to get recognized for their heroism. Her story led to her book titled Shoot Like a Girl, and her determination to make a difference in the military world as a female is one of the most inspiring we have ever seen. Next up on our list, Major Lauren Edwards. Now when it comes to the word badass, Edwards definitely has this one covered. This female soldier has it all, and her physical strength is what sets her apart from others and allows her to be a fantastic asset to the Marine Corps. Now, how many of you can run 3 miles in 18 minutes or do 20 pull-ups and 100 sit-ups in just 2 minutes? Edwards is a combat engineer and is known for her impressive act of leading more than 150 Marines, along with several vehicles, into defensive maneuvers when her unit's convoy was attacked in Iraq in 2003. It would be the first time that she ever got shot, but she remained calm, rational, and knew exactly what needed to be done. Then in 2015, she also made Marine Corps history when she took command of the service's 8th Engineer Support Battalion. She became the first ever female commander of a Marine Corps base. And of the honor, she said, quote, "My charge is now to serve as a positive example of leadership and professionalism to men and women alike." Edwards earned a Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with a Combat 5 and was named as one of Business Insider's 14 most impressive women in the military. And with all of those facts, you can definitely see why. And now we move on to Specialist Ashley Pullen. 22-year-old Ashley Pullen was a Humvee driver in Baghdad when she saved the life of a fellow squad member by risking her own life and shielding him with her own body. When Pullen heard her squad member was injured and needed help, she ran 300 feet, the size of a football field, with heavy equipment, all in order to get to him. She knew that her truck would become an easy target for the already spotted enemy. All while being under attack, Pullen treated the injured member's stomach wound and protected him from any further injuries by putting herself in front of him as a shield. But she didn't help just save one life. She transported plenty of wounded soldiers into a safe area during her time in Baghdad. Her courage and bravery turned her into a hero, and she was awarded a Bronze Star with a V for Valor. And her commander would later describe Pullen as having tremendous dedication and focus. She was credited with saving the life of a team member and had incredible courage. But needless to say, Specialist Ashley Pullen definitely earned her Badass Soldier title, and we wish her the very best in her recovery from all of her emotional memories. And next on our list isn't exactly a soldier, but a spy. A completely badass spy. Meet Virginia Hall, an American operative in France, and she was also the most wanted female spy during the Second World War. Hall had an artificial leg, for which she had her own code word, and earned her the nickname the Limping Lady. But that didn't stop her from being absolutely badass when it came to the spy business. Back in the days of the Gestapo, the Nazi secret police put up a wanted sign around the whole vicinity of Vichy, France. They mercilessly sought after Virginia Hall for establishing resistance networks, locating drop zones for weapons and money, and also for helping the injured to escape as prisoners of war. And doing it all with just one leg. The Gestapo was very clear with their order. She's the most dangerous of all Allied spies. We must find and destroy her. And as is evidenced, Virginia Hall was no ordinary female, because she was completely unfazed by these orders and continued her spy work during World War II. Throughout her life, she also lived in Madrid and was a secret correspondent for the Chicago Times for a while before she realized that the job was boring. She also worked as a spy in Lyon and basically traveled undercover all around Europe. In fact, she was the first female that was sent to France by Special Operations Executive, also known as SOE. The woman whose United States Foreign Service officer job application got rejected became one of World War II's most heroic female spies. And her extraordinary actions saved many lives of the Allies, all while she was hunted by the Nazis. French President Jacques Chirac called her a true hero of the French resistance, and she even received the Order of the British Empire Medal. And something even more awesome is that Hall was never caught, and she died from natural causes at the age of 76. Moving on to more ancient cultures, did you know that Tomo Gozen, who was born in 1157, was actually one of the greatest female samurai warriors of all time? Martial arts, archery, swords, there was nothing that Gozen wasn't good at. Although female samurais aren't unheard of in Japan, her impressive skills made her one of the few that set history. That's right. Her name is part of ancient war manuscripts, which are heavily dominated by the male population. During the Genpei War, where Gozen's acts were most noted, she single-handedly killed a group of enemy soldiers and managed to decapitate their leader. Historical accounts describe her as an especially beautiful woman with charming features, and they praise her horse riding skills, along with her strength and bravery. She was also Yoshinaka's first captain, and according to the Tale of the Heki, she performed more deeds of valor than any of his other warriors, with her weapons of choice being the longsword, along with the bow and arrow. She demonstrated loyalty and honor to her leaders, and perhaps this might be the reason that her then leader would force her to retire during the Battle of Awazu. Of course, it was not before she rode straight into a pack of 30 mounted Tiara warriors and beheaded all of the weakest links. The last days of this fierce soldier are quite unclear. While some say that she became a nun, other rumors state that she committed suicide. But what we do know is that her strength and bravery are still celebrated today. And we simply cannot finish a list like this without mentioning Joan of Arc. Everyone is probably familiar with her story by now, but if you're not, it involves a teenage girl who rose to the occasion and led the French army into victory. But how did this confident girl with no military experience manage to lead a French army to the city of Orleans is beyond me. However, she would become a symbol of French unity and nationalism. A year after bringing France to victory, she was then captured by Burgundian forces, whose aim was to get rid of this young leader. She would be charged with things like witchcraft, heresy, and dressing like a man. And yes, you heard that correctly. Women who dressed like men in those days were charged with crime. A year after being held in captivity, Joan refused to comply and continued to defy orders, which led to her death sentence. It was the morning of May 30th, 1431 that Joan was burned alive in the marketplace of Rouen. Her bravery and courage became known after she died, when Charles VII cleared her name 20 years afterwards. Joan of Arc can be found all over works of literature, and she became the patron saint of France as a symbol of bravery. So, the next time that someone might say, "You fight like a girl," don't take it as an insult. Think of these brave ladies, smile, and say thank you. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Marijuana. Alright, before you click off the video in a huff going, "Legalize it, weed's not bad," just hear us out. It can